Hi Cheyenne, how you doing? So let's take a look at your magazines, and I want to show you some examples, and I just want to talk about some typography in general and some areas um, of concern typographically that we can definitely work on. So the first thing, okay, let's go to this one first. The first thing I'm noticing is that this isn't really a headline. I mean, if you look at magazine headline for a magazine title, let's just do some quick visual research here. That's a headline. I mean, you can see like over and over these wonderful treatments of type in headlines, and the list just goes on and on. Yeah, that's kind of boring. Do you know what I'm saying? And so then we have this headline that is just basic typeset. That might even be Helvetica. So it's just completely objective. It's got no feeling or emotion. So I suggest going back and start thinking about a typographic composition for the headline. Typically, you'll have headline, then who the article's by, and then a subhead, a series of text that tells the viewer what they're about to read. You find them all the time. There's one. There's a subhead. There's a subhead. In any article you find, you're going to find headline, subhead, then article. Okay, so really, really keep that in mind. Okay, and we see that same thing here and here as well. The type itself, you're using bold. I want to recommend that you really go through the materials in the class, because there's some things in here that are pretty much kind of warned against in our materials. And this is bold type right here, and it's also center aligned. And those are two things that we've learned that really, really impede readability, legibility. And then to further accentuate that problem is we have this image in the background behind the type, rendering this paragraph right here almost completely unreadable. So rethink your center type. I would go left align, right rag, and put a grid in here, 2 or 3 column grid. These type lines, in all of your example, are just, here's another center aligned. Your type lines are too long. Optimal character count, as you recall, would be anywhere between 49 and 65 characters, whereas in some of these lines, I'm sure you're well over 65 characters. That includes spaces, by the way. Likewise here. And here it's really unsettling, because this width of the width of this text box is wider than this one. So that is creating this and then you've got no grid working on the page. So this one, you're starting to use a grid. You've got this 3 column grid, and we'll talk about that in a second. So okay, so in those two things, I think are a problem there. This one is much better. It's much better. I think that by developing a grid, probably a 2 column grid or some sort of grid, so you're not having your type lines aren't so long, and developing a typeset that's either justified or with a justified last line left align. You don't ever want to center a last line, even if you're centering type. You don't ever want to center type unless you're doing wedding invitation. So definitely don't want a typeset center aligned, okay, for reading. So I recommend left aligned, right rag. Drop cap is a drop cap. It goes down into the thing. Research drop cap in InDesign. I'll show you how to do that. Don't need a drop cap on each paragraph. This one here, this almost looks like 2 stories, by the way. Almost looks like it could possibly, if the image was not there, this definitely would almost look like 2 different pages. Again, we have bold type, and you're starting every paragraph with this drop cap, but it's not a drop cap. It's just an enlarged letter. That technique, again, it's called drop cap, and you would only use it in your first paragraph. I see the bold type. I see widows here, here, here. And then technically, well, that wouldn't be an orphan. I guess that's okay. But the really short lines. This is the type is too large, and it's also set in bold. So this left align type is it's kerned really tightly. So in conjunction with the bold, it's so dark that it's almost ominous looking, if that makes sense. Okay. I think this is your strongest piece, and I highly recommend reviewing the grid video and really, you know what would be a great idea for you to get right into where a lot of the comments that I think that you're missing through a lot of the course materials is if you just go through this critique board and watch all the videos. I've given everyone a video, and I do that on purpose so everybody has the benefit of looking at each other's videos and getting multiple critiques, as it were, since a lot of those comments are going to be applicable to your work and conversely to your classmates alike. So I'm thinking that if it would be a really good idea for you to go through a few of those videos and start seeing, some of the comments, you're going to start hearing things over and over, and things are going to start making a lot more sense, okay? All right, that's all I have. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to give me a holler. All right, thank you.